getting fitter isn't the only way to get faster on your bike.
Yeah, so coming up are tips on position, clothing and nutrition to make you go faster.
There's loads of tips and advice out there about how you can get more aero, everything from wearing special socks to having aerodynamic handlebar tape. But what is often forgotten, and by the pros as well, is actually as simple as not trying to ride fast whilst wearing your rain cape.
Yeah, so I think we're all guilty of, trying to ride fast and be aerodynamic with a raincoat on, even one as well fitted and as aero as this one. So doing something as simple as, taking it off will make you more efficient and faster.
Yeah, now you will of course get cold, you will of course get wet, but that's not the point. This is about being faster. And actually talking about cold, the opposite is true. If you get too hot, you start unzipping your clothing, that too will slow you down.
Right, you ready to go fast, mate?
Go on then. Well, I am a bit cold, so I'm going to keep my jacket on for a bit. Now this might be easier for some of us than others, but riding with people who are fitter than you is a great way of going faster, both in the short term, because they'll naturally be pushing the pace beyond your comfort zone, and also long term, because it's a great way of building your fitness too. Particularly if you've reached a plateau, this is going to be the way to break through.
Right, this next tip will make you faster without even being fitter. And we're going to stay on the theme of aerodynamics. What can we change to make us faster? You can go out and buy yourself a nice slick aerodynamic frame like this one, or even get yourself some aerodynamic wheels like these. But something a lot less costly is just change your position.
That's right, something that's potentially completely free. Your body is by far and away the biggest object that you're having to push through the air. Actually, that's not strictly true. In Hank's case, it's probably his head. But anyway, if you can start to think about decreasing your frontal area, that is the key to getting more aero. So maybe you ride on the drops, get your back a little bit flatter, roll your shoulders in, drop your head. It's all going to make a big difference.
Cadence. Now there are loads of videos on the channel explaining what is the most efficient cadence, but the best thing to focus on is what's best for you, and that's a nice comfortable gear that you're happy with.
Yeah, essentially what you're avoiding is either munching absolutely massive gears or twiddling away with absolutely no resistance. Of course, to find the right gear, you simply change to suit. But this does mean that on really extreme rides, you might actually need to change your gear ratios in order to allow you to do that. So, with that in mind, maybe investing in a spare cassette, leave it in your spares box and bring it out on those special days when you might decide to ride up the Angleroo or something like that.
Yeah, exactly. Now the pros have the luxury of having all the spares available to them, but that's not strictly necessary. All you need is a cassette that allows you to pedal up these steep climbs at a nice cadence.
To travel fast, travel light. And that means not sticking every accessory known to mankind on your bike and everything under the sun in your back pockets. After all, no one wants to carry around more weight than they absolutely have to.
Yes, and I think you've got a lot of weight going on there, Si. But seriously, when it comes to packing your pockets, only take the essentials. A good tip to use is to pack a saddlebag with your tubes and your pump, etc. And then when it comes to your pockets, maybe just some food, a phone, and maybe some money for the calf.
Ask yourself, are all those emergency items actually going to be necessary? I mean, yes, you might do the odd ride off into the wilderness where it's prudent to be prepared, but for 95% of road rides, probably taking the bare minimum is actually the right call.
Right, I think I'm the worst culprit of this. And in my training rides, often ran out of energy and either dragged myself home or got to a cafe or pet station to stuff my face. But in all these cases, my average speed rapidly dropped as soon as I felt like I was running low on energy.
Yeah, if you want to go fast, you've got to stay fueled. And a great rule of thumb is to eat something every 20 or 30 minutes or so. Not very much, maybe half an energy bar or a bit of banana. I used to love making a massive batch of flapjacks to take with me as I rode. Pros often use rice cakes. I've actually got something with me, James, but given the size of this banana, I think it's going to take both of us most of the day to get through it. A pro tip about eating whilst trying to ride fast is to not eat when you're riding up a climb, because then you really will go slowly. Right, let us know how you get on, and if you've got some tips of your own that you don't mind sharing with the viewers, then get involved in the comment section down below.
Yeah, and if you enjoyed this video, then give it a big thumbs up. And for more pro tips, then click down here.